then I should start talking. Right.
Once there was a royal kingdom, far away in a land with no rush hour traffic, infomercials, or email. The kingdom was ruled by a king and a queen who enjoyed their work but felt overwhelmed by the demands of ruling a sizable kingdom. They consulted with a travel agent who got them a great deal on a 2-week, all-inclusive vacation to Legoland. The king and queen packed their bags and called their subjects for a royal proclamation.
Hear ye, hear ye. Queen Jessie and I are going on a vacation to frolic and be merry. While we are away, our 8th cousin, 6 removed, Grand Duke Oscar will rule the kingdom. We'll try to send a postcard. See you in 2 weeks.
With that, the king and queen climbed into their Lamborghini and pulled away. Immediately, Grand Duke Oscar strode out onto the castle balcony.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Forgive me, Grand Duke Oscar. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure everyone here feels welcome. Would you mind holding off your proclamation for a moment while our worship associate does her thing?
Brian, Daniel, and Jesse Pounds, our youth group advisors, will light our chalice. Please join me in our chalice lighting words found in your order of service. We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create a loving community.
Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro. I am Cindy Dillard, the Director of the Children's and Youth Ministry at UUCG. Our ministry team here at UUCG is myself, the Reverend Sadie Lansdale, who's on sabbatical, Julie Hamilton, our Congregational Administrator, and Luke Steichleather, our Experimental Director of Music. Unitarian Universalists believe that each person has a trustworthy relationship with the Spirit, with the Holy, with the source of all life, with what some call God, though we name it and know it differently from one another. And we believe that because we are interconnected, nobody is free until we are all free. So we strive to build beloved community here on earth, in our fellowship with one another, and in our work for justice. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Should you have your cell phone on during church making noise? Please note that we are mask optional now, except for this section right over here. That's an interesting indication of where we are right now. Today's service is intergenerational, meaning children and youth will remain in worship. It is also our annual youth service and flower communion. The story is based on Erica Hewitt's Outlawing Jelly Beans and Other Injustices.
A covenant contains the promises we make to one another in response to the great gift of living. Holding ourselves to these holy aspirations, will you join us in our church covenant? We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, do covenant to probe a search for personal meaning, respecting the individual truth in a community process of quest, speak and act with caring, courtesy, and love,
As Grand Duke Oscar stood on the balcony, he took a deep breath and pronounced arrogantly,
I have a decree to issue.
"The Duke is a slow thinker.
My decree, my decree is that everyone shall return tomorrow to hear my next decree.
That's the silliest decree I've ever heard. Doesn't he know how silly he sounds?
That's Beatrice, a kid who lives in the kingdom.
Be easy on the Duke, Beatrice. He's new at this, and he probably just couldn't think of anything to say.
That's Emily, Beatrice's mom.
Why doesn't he decree something useful, like banning cell phones ringing during church hours?
Some people do strange things to make themselves feel important. Maybe the Duke will relax if he thinks to. And the King and Queen will be home from Legoland before you know it. How much trouble can the Duke stir up between now and then?
That's Sally, Beatrice's other mom.
Well, I can't wait to see what his next decree will be.
Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. If you're joining us in the sanctuary, won't you wave hello to everyone joining us online? If you're online, go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat. And if you're in person, let's greet our neighbors.
The entire realm was as curious as Beatrice was about Grand Duke Oscar's decree. The next day, everyone in the royal kingdom returned to the royal balcony as decreed. Some of them gathered out of obedience, some gathered out of curiosity about what Grand Duke Oscar would decree, and the rest of them gathered because they'd heard a rumor that the castle would be giving away free coffee. That last group was disappointed. There was no free coffee. Anyway, all the people listened expectantly as Grand Duke Oscar strutted out onto the balcony and puffed up his chest.
Hear ye, hear ye. I proclaim that too many jelly beans are being eaten. We could have a jelly bean shortage if we are not careful. Henceforth, no one shall eat jelly beans without royal permission. I also proclaim that you shall not request royal permission to eat jelly beans, as no one is getting permission to do so.
Come on, Duke. We know you're just kidding.
Silence! I am very serious. Anyone found eating jelly beans shall lose their heads. And you shall return in 1 week for my next proclamation.
No one chuckled now. Everyone returned silently to their homes. Many shook their heads in dismay, but no one ate a single jelly bean.
We bring the echoes in our hearts before our community and before the holy in this sacred space and time. If you're online, this is the time to share your joys and sorrows with one another in the chat. If you're in person and you have a milestone that you would like added to our prayers, you can fill out a yellow card, which the ushers will collect from you. If there's a joy on your heart, place a plant in the vase. If there's a sorrow, place a stone in the bowl. You may light a candle of prayer and presence for someone you're holding close to you. And if you're not sure how you're feeling, or maybe you're feeling a little antsy, there are pipe cleaners in the back to fidget with. Or you may have brought needlework. You should feel free to do that. In church, we practice becoming more fully human. This is our time to take stock of how we arrive here and to take what we need, knowing that the table is set for us all.
When the not-so-Grand Duke Oscar outlawed jelly beans, it was a hard week week in the kingdom. People had to turn to chocolate to satisfy their cravings for sweets. But they managed to get by without jelly beans somehow. One week, as threatened, promised, the Grand Duke Oscar stepped out on the balcony to issue his next decree. To a growling crowd who wondered, would the Duke's next decree be as far-fetched as outlawing jelly beans?
Hear ye, hear ye. Today I proclaim that too many children are being impertinent to their parents. I believe that children have become sassy and disrespectful because of the books they read. I have taken myself to compile a short list of books that are taken it upon myself acceptable for children. And I have instructed the royal libraries to lock up all unapproved books. Therefore and henceforth, no children shall be allowed to read books that have not received the royal approval. All who disobey me shall lose their heads.
He's nuts.
I'm afraid that doesn't matter. Until the king and queen remove the other land, the Duke's going to fall.
For now, we should go home and gather up our books sent to the castle for royal disapproval.
But Mom, what am I supposed to do without my books?
Please remain in your seats for our musical meditation, number 1009 in the Teal hymnal, Meditation on Breathing. How beautiful it is to be together. We gather in gratitude this morning, turning our hearts to thanks and praise for the gift of living, in the presence of the Spirit that animates all life, and in knowledge that we are powerfully, profoundly connected to all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. During these few moments of silence, you can focus on something you're grateful for or someone you are remembering especially today, or just the sensation of your chair supporting you. Will you find a comfortable place in your seat and take a few easy breaths as we settle into our shared silence together? Will you join me in prayer and presence? In this moment, bathed in silence and song, we offer our joys and sorrows alike, knowing that they are woven fine. Dave Block is grateful for those who provided meal train dinners during his infirmary. Deanna, Alyssa, and Colin would like to share that they got a new puppy. Her name is Cookie, and she is an English cream golden retriever. Now our other puppy, Hudson, is a big brother. Phyllis Sutphin would like you to join her in celebrating her husband Alan's retirement from working life. Nora Bird is celebrating the solidarity of UUs at the rally for upholding the veto. Heather Rushforth writes, thank you to Cindy, Jesse, and Brian for leading an amazing youth group service. And Rebecca Kay is feeling big mama joy for youth advisors Jesse and Brian, for Elliot, the Oscars, and all our amazing youth and their fearless leader, Cindy. Thank you for sharing talents and fellowship. We name aloud or in the chat those people in our hearts, living or dead, near or far, that this community might hold them in love. Spirit of love and life, God of many names and beyond all naming, source of all. In these quiet moments, let us remember our power and our agency. It is tempting at times to use our power to protect our own interests, to wall off our hearts, to lift ourselves above others. And each of us has done so, with or without awareness. We remember that by serving one another, we are called to use our power in a different way, to be agents of healing in a hurting world, to bring about justice, to give voice to hope, to summon forth compassion. Inspire us, source of love, to do all these things, to heal, to help, to bless, and to do so with love. Amen.
As you recall, the citizens of the royal kingdom were beginning to feel really upset because Grand Duke Oscar had outlawed jelly beans, and as it turns out, all of the most interesting books. A week later, he issued yet another decree, this one more heavy-handed than the others. As always, the Duke puffed up his chest and strutted out onto the castle balcony.
Hear ye, hear ye. Since I grew up with just one mother and one father, I turned out so well. I proclaim that this arrangement will work best for everyone in 1 week, and any children who have too many mothers or fathers or not enough will be thrown into the dungeon.
It wasn't that bad for me to give up my jelly beans. It was kind of bad for me to give up my favorite books, but I won't give you up, I won't. I have 2 mothers, both of you are my moms, and I've turned out great. He can't throw me into the dungeon.
I'm afraid he can, technically, but we'll never let him take you away.
Never. We'd run away to another kingdom first.
We should have gone to Legoland ourselves, huh?
Come back next week for another royal decree. Oh, in the meantime, don't forget about the jelly beans.
Throughout the kingdom, everyone shook their heads in shock, murmuring about the lengths to which Grand Duke Oscar had taken his power. And while the Duke squirreled himself away in the castle, studying important papers and composing his next decree, he was oblivious to the people's distress. He didn't know, for example, that later that evening, Beatrice had an emergency meeting with her friend Dexter. Like others in the kingdom, they felt indignant about Grand Duke's most recent decree. Stirred into reflection and action, Beatrice and Dexter made a list.
That's Daniel. He has 2 dads. That's 1 dad too many, according to Grand Duke Dweeb.
Don't forget about Anastasia. She lives with her grandparents.
And what about Ezra? He has just 1 mom and no dads. The Duke will take him away from his mom, too.
We love all these people. We've got to do something to protect them.
Soon, Dexter and Beatrice had listed several other kids who did not have the right parents. According to Grand Duke Dweeb, Oscar, who were in danger of being taken away from their parents. They were determined not to let their friends remain in this danger. The next day, all of the children met secretly in the woods with Dexter and Beatrice, and they shared their plan that the next time the Duke makes a decree, they will use flowers as a symbol when they rise up against his nonsense and as a way to restore peace and love to the kingdom.
following day, Grand Duke Oscar again strutted out onto the balcony, eager to make his next proclamation. The people gathered below, ready to meet his royal plea with their plan, code named Flower Resistant to Royal Wrong-Headedness.
Hear ye, hear ye. It has come to my attention that someone in this kingdom has found a jelly bean under their sofa cushion and ate it. The jelly bean, not the sofa cushion. You are in big trouble as soon as I find out who you are. It has also come to my attention that there is an unapproved book circulating among the kingdom. I remind you that you will be very sorry if you are caught reading Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Suddenly, the Duke's puffery made the kingdom's people even more determined to carry out their plan of rebellion.
However, what troubles me most supremely is that a number of families in this royal kingdom are defying my proclamation that families must have exactly one mother and one father. Some of you children out there have two mothers, and one of you has a grandmother instead of two parents, and so on. Later this afternoon, my royal guards will seek you out, you children who are in such danger, and put you in the dungeon.
Suddenly, the Grand Duke heard voices rising from the crowd.
Hear ye, hear ye. Henceforth I proclaim that all goldfish must be potty trained.
Hear ye, hear ye. I am very smart, and I believe it's because I eat my favorite sandwich every day for lunch. Fried onion with grape jelly. I hereby decree that everybody must eat fried onion with grape jelly sandwiches at every meal.
Hear ye, hear ye. I accidentally swallowed a grasshopper when I was 2, and I turned out so well, I proclaim that all 2-year-olds must swallow grasshoppers.
Hear ye, hear ye. I proclaim that dogs are not allowed to burp.
As these proclamations rained down at him, the Grand Duke Oscar began to cringe. A look of uncertainty crossed his face, and he held up a hand. But was speechless.
Potty-trained goldfish, fried onion, and grape jelly sandwiches. 2-year-olds swallowing grasshoppers. No burping dogs. The silly proclamations continued, and soon every person in the kingdom was giggling or chuckling. They laughed so hard their sides hurt, and they couldn't stop. Soon everyone was rolling on the ground, giggling and laughing and chuckling, poking each other and laughing some more.
I proclaim that giggling is against the law.
Everyone roared with laughter, except for Grand Duke Dweeb.
Guard! Arrest everyone laughing. Off with their heads!
Off with their heads, off with their noses, send them to bed without any tuzzes.
This was too much for Grand Duke Oscar. He had never been so humiliated in all of his life. They were laughing at him, and then Beatrice and Dexter bring him a flower. And with his chest puffed out as far as he could get it, the Grand Duke strode off the balcony, walked down the castle stairs, knocked out a dude and stole his horse. Then he rode out the kingdom as fast as possible and was never heard from again. Except in his annual holiday card sent to the king and queen. And in case you're wondering, that evening after Grand Duke Dweeb rode out of town, everyone ate jelly beans for dinner, and as a reminder of how they triumphed over the Duke. Through their sense of humor and honoring what they knew was right, the members of the flower resistance to the royal wrong-headedness distributed flowers to everyone throughout the kingdom.
Please remain in your seats for hymn number 168 as our youth bring you flowers. One of the ways that we live out our mission to create loving community is to contribute financially to the ministries of this congregation and to the good work of our community partners. Our offering this month goes to the Minister's Discretionary Fund, which is available to anyone in a tough spot. We can help with medical bills, rent, groceries, or other needs. Reverend Patty's email and phone number are on the back of your order of service, or you can contact the church through our website. If you'd like to make a contribution online, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. You can also text GIVE to the number in your order of service or mail a check to UUCG. Our ushers will come forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received. our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. If you're online and you'd like to get more connected, you can click the link in the description of this YouTube video and let us know how we can connect with you. If you're in person, you can fill out a pink form at the visitors table or visit our website for our contact form. Immediately following this service, everyone, whether you brought a dish to pass or not, is invited to an all-church potluck here in the sanctuary. Amelia?
I have a couple of other announcements. I'm Amelia Maddox. I'm the president of our congregation. And first of all, I want to thank those who were able to attend the veto rally yesterday here in Greensboro. If you attended and I see you out there, please stand up. I want to show us our big contingent that was there. That's right. Yes. Thank you for coming. It is so wonderful to see our UU presence out in these movements. And as a reminder, with the passing of Senate Bill 20 and then Governor Cooper's veto yesterday, we are still in danger of a 12-week abortion ban in our state. Reproductive justice has always been a mission of Unitarian Universalism, and access to abortion care is consistent with our UU principles. With the inherent worth and dignity of every person, we all deserve access to reproductive health care, including abortion. So let's join together to celebrate and reassert our commitment to reproductive justice and conscious parenthood. In the lobby after the service today, Donna Scheidt and perhaps Nora Bird will be out there to find out how you can sign onto a letter to support reproductive justice in our state, as well as finding out who the key legislators are that we need to contact who can possibly prevent an override of the veto. And so please see Donna or Nora or myself, honestly, outside if you need more information. Second, we have our annual meeting next week where we approve the budget and we elect our leadership for the next church year. Please plan to attend. It's going to be after the service at 11:15. More details about the budget will be in the e-news this week. Please be on the lookout for that so you can take a look at it and bring any questions you have to our meeting. And we look forward to seeing you there. And more announcements are in your order of service.
Also, volunteers are needed for coffee for May and June, as well as for Nelson Stover's service next Sunday, May the 21st. Please see Kate Katahdin, our coffee guru.
Let us remember the importance of loving and of holy boldness.
Let us each go out into the world doing the something we can do, even if we tremble.
Be confident that these small acts build upon each other.
To bring out about peace.
To create justice.
To spread love.
Will you rise in body or in spirit for our benediction hymn number 400, Shalom Havarim.